So fasting for 36 hours. Do you think I make it? Number one. Number two, we're going to go through all the benefits that are listed here because it's very accurate. At the moment, I need to remember all those benefits because I am at hour number, what is it? 19, 20 at the moment. And I'm starving, and maybe you're going to be able through the microphone to hear my gut like doing that noise. Anyways, this is going to be a new series of all the health hacks that I'm going to be trying and see what sticks. Because one thing that came up after leading a company about health and health technology is all the different lifestyle changes and different supplements and different things we can do to improve our health and longevity. So this is one of them. And there's reasons why I chose to do this, but it's not for everyone, and I wanted to start there. I'm going to read here the main things. This is disclaimer. So it's not for everyone. Fasting is not advisable for individuals who are underweight, pregnant, breastfeeding, have a history of eating disorders, or have certain medical conditions like advanced diabetes or adrenal fatigue. Always consult a doctor before attempting an extended fast. So another thing is hydration is crucial. Break your fast wisely, and your fast with a gentle, modest-sized meal. Avoid large portions of heavy processed foods, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, because you can have the refeeding syndrome. So your risk unlikely in a 36-hour context. So this is not going to be that problematic for 36 hours. This is talking about longer fasts. Listen to your body. It's normal to feel hunger and some fatigue, but sharp pain or extreme weakness or nausea are signs of to stop and eat. So these are overly dramatized, but this is just for 36 hours. So it shouldn't, any of these things should happen. And again, not for everyone, remember that. But let's go through the benefits of fasting first. Overall, what everybody's saying, what the studies are saying, comparisons and stuff. So the first of all is enhance autophagy. Autophagy is the body's innate cellular housekeeping process. So it involves the breakdown and recycling of old, damaged, and dysfunctional cellular components, proteins, and organelles. Well, it breaks down the science, but the benefits is basically clearing out the cellular junk, like detoxifying ourselves and making the cells get renewed, reducing inflammation, protecting against neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer and Parkinson's, cancer, infections. So if you have not watched, there was this week this video of the podcast in Diary of a CEO saying that fasting for like it was like 5 days to 40 days for different treatments to very sick people, especially some cancers, and how great results it has given and everything. So it was very interesting to me. And we've heard about fasting. I've seen the studies. I've read these things. And yes, there's many studies showing like how literally like fasting kills um, cancer tumors and stuff like that. And some my idea of this, or my thought, it was like, wait a minute, we all get some sort of cancer at some point, but we don't even know, or we detect it late. So actually fasting regularly, like once a month or whatever it is for you, might be able to prevent these cancer cells to overgrow. But anyways, don't take this as science. I'm just saying it felt like a very obvious way of helping your body regenerate. And believe me, I'm the worst person for fasting. I am the worst hungry person. So I would wake up. I remember when traveling with my husband when I was younger, before we were husband and wife, he would like buy like protein bars or granola bars or bananas, literally, to get in the hotel room before like breakfast was open, or we would go out for brunch or whatever, because the moment I would wake up I would need food. If not, it would be like mayhem. I would be hungry and angry all at the same time during the time before getting food. So that was me in my 20s. And now I've done intermittent fasting for some time, on and off, on and off. And after this trip we had last weekend, I felt like overwhelmed with all the food, bad food, sugar I ate. And I felt like, listen to this episode and podcast, and I was like, it's a sign. You know fasting is good. You've read all the books, you've read all the freaking studies. Let's do it for 36 hours. And I've tried it before for 24 hours. Didn't manage. I think the most I've managed is 20 hours, which is where I'm at right now. And I'm in hell crisis because I have to prepare meals this morning and now for my children. and I cannot eat. So I have to rely on drinking a lot of water, chamomile tea, and I have not started with chamomile tea, and coffee, black coffee. So we'll see. Stay tuned to see if I manage. I'm posting it on Instagram. But we know those are some of the benefits of autophagy. Everybody talks about it. So it feels like if you do this, like where I think of myself, if I do this once a month, like the 36 hours, which 36 hours only means that you have dinner one day, like the day you have dinner. I had dinner yesterday at 7 p.m. So today I'm not allowed to eat. And then tomorrow at 7 a.m. I can start eating. So it's actually one day. So 36 hours sounds like a lot, but it's more in your mind like 24 hours because you have to consider like you're going to be sleeping like before and after, right? So yeah. So in reality, you just have to fight the first 24 hours and then you're going to be sleeping and then you're going to wake up and have breakfast like a normal day. So it's just one day without eating. And if I produce autophagy in my body to get rid of the junk once a month, it might be beneficial in many ways. So that's one. The other thing is profound increase of fat burning ketosis. This is one thing that I keep seeing in the studies, which is like visceral fat, like the fat in your belly that makes your belly like pop out because it's inside the organs and stuff. That's one of the most things, the best things that happens. And I've heard it over and over again because there's always people saying, how do I lose fat localized here and here in my belly? And well, you just have to work out and lose fat everywhere because you cannot lose localized fat. But in this case, apparently fasting gets most of the fat off the visceral area, so your belly. So that would be great if that happens. I don't think it's going to happen in 36 hours, but it might help a little bit. So after liver glycogen, stored sugar, is depleted, which typically happens between 24 and 36 hours. So I actually need to fast for longer to get this effect. The body significantly increases fatty acid oxidation. So the liver converts these fats into ketone bodies, which become the primary fuel source of the brain and body. I'm actually going to take this. I have to show you. I don't have them here, but these Vivo strips to pee on and see your level of magnesium and hydration and different stuff. And one of the things it measures is ketones. So I'm gonna measure if I have ketones now and then tomorrow morning before eating with those strips. I'm gonna send you a link here, affiliate link down below, and let me know if you want to try them. And they're very easy to use. Just you pee and you just scan it with your phone and it tells you how you are depleted or one thing or another and whatever. It's pretty good. Another thing is improved insulin sensitivity and blood sugar control. We've heard about that. So this one is one of the most powerful benefits of for metabolic health. Improved insulin sensitivity helps regulate blood sugar, reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes, and facilitates fat loss, as insulin is the hormone that promotes fat storage. So that's like the one and obvious everybody talks about. Boost in human growth hormone. This is about longevity. So it says the benefit is to increase age hormone growth. Human growth hormone helps preserve muscle mass during the fast, supports the maintenance of healthy metabolism and body composition. One thing that the doctor in this podcast mentioned was that during the fasting, and he's again talking about longer fasting, but he mentions that during the fasting period, you should not be working out and being super active, although I cannot avoid having meetings and having to work. But I'm not like going for a strength training or walk or anything. I'm just sitting here and doing my everyday things. But I have to say, okay, I have it's 3 p.m. and I have 3,000 steps. I usually have by now 7,000 steps, and by the end of the day, 12,000 or something like that. So today it's going to be under 10,000 steps, and that would be a relaxing day for me, I think. I hope. Then boost human growth hormone is what we said. And then reduce inflammation. We all know the benefits of that. Potential brain health and neuroprotection. This is very exciting because this is again about longevity and about avoiding things like or preventing things like Alzheimer and stuff, which is very directly linked to metabolic diseases. Which everybody talks about brain and body like they're separate things, or brain health, and apparently Alzheimer and dementia is very much linked to metabolic balance or unbalance. So With potential protection. Fasting may enhance brain function and build resilience against stress and disease, as mentioned, clearing out dysfunctional neurons and proteins associated with Alzheimer's. So virtual, it's vital for long-term brain health. So I'm more convinced. Now, cellular. Remember, I'm doing this to include you in my health journey, but also to remind myself at hour 20 of my 36-hour fasting journey why I'm doing this. So keep up with me. Cellular stress resistance and longevity pathways. So that's the seventh benefit, which is fasting introduces mild beneficial stress to the body, which is hormeosis, which activates pathways to enhance the body's ability to cope with more severe stress. That's interesting. Important caveats and considerations are what I wrote first. Now we're talking about each phases of the fasting in this 36 hours. What happens in the fed state, which is 0 to 12 hours in the beginning? So 0 to 12 hours, you finish your last meal. Oh, hour 0, you finish your last meal. Hour 4 to 8, your body finishes digesting, absorbing ingredients from the meal. Blood sugar and insulin levels begin to decline. Hours 8 to 12 of fasting, so after you woke up in the morning, the body enters post-absorptive state. It starts to rely on stored liver glycogen for energy. Insulin's levels drop significantly. So during the first hours of fasting, which is when you're sleeping the day after or the night after you have dinner, your primary fuel source is glucose from food and then liver glycogen. Then phase 2, what happens after hour 12 to 24? Well, okay, first is everybody should be fasting at least 12 hours, apparently. Like nobody should be eating in like bigger periods than what is it, than 12 hours. So you should have at least 12 hours at night and in the morning that you don't consume food, because that allows your body to like digest and fully use all the glucose that it needs from the last meal. And phase 2 is hours 12 to 24. This is where I'm at the moment. Let's see, 12 to 18, liver glycogen stores are being rapidly depleted. The hormone glucagon is now elevated, signaling the body to start breaking down fat for energy. Ooh, so apparently now, or a couple hours ago, is exactly when my body started burning fat. So let's let's see this. The benefit is that insulin levels are now very low, giving your pancreas a rest and improving insulin sensitivity. So hours 18 to 24, which is where I'm at now, it says liver glycogen is typically depleted around the 18 to 24-hour mark. For most people, the body begins to increase fat oxidation, breaking down fat more significantly. So the benefits is that true start of accelerated fat burning. The liver starts converting fatty acids into ketone bodies. So, well, I'm happy with that. Maybe I can break my fast at hour 24 instead of at hour 36. So let's see. Hours 24 to 36, which is going to be mostly when I'm asleep. Mm. 24 to 30, the metabolic switch to ketosis is now complete. Blood ketone levels rise markedly and become primary fuel for the brain and body. But yeah, mental clarity and focus, great. I'm going to be sleeping by then. It's very, very clear. Maybe I have a great sleep. But apparently when you're fasting, you don't sleep that well because your body is in emergency mode. We'll see. I'll report on you next time. Hours 30 to 36, which I'm going to be sleeping, says with amino acids from protein long gone and insulin at its lowest, the inhibition of cellular cleanup is fully lifted. Autophagy is significantly upregulated, recycling damaged proteins and cellular components. So basically what I'm doing in these hours, at this moment, my hour 20 to 36, is allowing my body to clean itself up. So if there is any cells that are ruining something and I don't even know about, what I believe, remember the power of the brain. So what I believe at the moment is that my body is cleaning itself, and it's cleaning, getting rid of everything and making the hormone, the human growth hormone, take over and grow like I'm 18 years old. Benefit maximize human growth hormone. HGH levels can be up to 5 times higher than at the start of the fast. This helps preserve lean muscle mass and further enhance fat metabolism, getting rid of my belly. Major reduction in inflammation, which is great for the brain and everything else. Key milestones at glance. So, well, that's it. So let's see. My only issue is that if I'm not able to sleep well, I'm not going to do it anymore because that's my number one priority, which is going to be another video. So stay tuned for this series. This is about fasting. I'll give you an update on how did I feel and how if I managed and how did I sleep. And the other one is going to be like sleep health, sleep hygiene. That's going to be my next video because it has changed my life as a mother of two. It's just, it's a different world. When like the days that I managed to sleep well, it was a different life. And then I applied all my sleep hygiene like rules to myself, and 90% of the nights I get very high quality sleep. My life has just completely changed. So I hope you stay tuned for that one because that's going to apply for every one of you who are humans and breathe and have a body. So thank you so much for watching and see you in the next episode.